So I want to go here to AP, to an article written by Becky Boer and Jesse Bedane, who report that one of the most significant airlifts in Alaska history was underway Wednesday to move hundreds of people from coastal villages ravaged by high surf and strong winds from the remnants of Typhoon Halong last weekend. It is being reported that at this current point, at least one person has been killed and 2 are missing. Makeshift shelters have been established and swelled to about 1,500 people, which is an extraordinary number for a sparsely populated region where communities are reachable by only air or water. The communities of Kipnuk and Kwigillingok near the Bering Sea saw waters level more than 6 feet above the highest normal tide line. Leaders asked the state to evacuate the more than 1,000 residents in those villages. It is being reported that some of these homes can never be lived in again. Now, you heard me earlier say that this is kind of an example of a multitude of things. One, the numbing of natural disasters and the lack of empathy that should be innate in all of us when we see a community so devastated by natural events. 2, the impact of policies, because it was also reported that there was a $20 million U.S. Environmental Protection Agency grant to Kipnuk, which was inundated by floodwaters, that had been terminated by the Trump administration. Now, of course, we know that this is part of a government cut, individuals saying that they're trying to rein in government. They're trying to, quote unquote, save money. They are also basically removing anything that is democratic oriented and anything that has to do with promoting the idea that the climate is changing in any negative way. Now, people are saying that this $20 million would have really not done anything to have prevented what occurred in this village, but what it would have done is possibly have gotten them started on removing certain things that eventually fell into the floodwaters. So there is real world impact in this community and not having this money sent there. And clearly, I mean, the money was meant to shore up the boardwalk that individuals used to get around their town, because the soil was eroding and it was slowly slipping away.
Experts say that former Typhoon Halong was different because its path caused a huge storm surge. A climate specialist says that one concern for the future is that the land in the Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta area is sinking due to permafrost thaw, and sea levels are rising, and this makes the area even more vulnerable to future storms, even more flooding during high tides.
And because of permafrost thaw, this land is subsiding, so it's getting lower when you're only 10 feet above sea level.
I hate saying thoughts and prayers because it feels like at this point it's become such a generic response to death, climate disasters, devastation. It is the easy go-to, but no longer do words feel like they have much meaning when it comes to any of these situations. I look at school shootings. I don't know what to say anymore. What condolences can you offer to families and individuals impacted by these types of events? However, because I don't want to say anything, I do say that my heart is with these individuals who have lost their homes, generations of homes, who will not be able to return to the place that they've known their entire lives due to, at least in part, a warming climate, due to the fact that we are cutting necessary funds for communities that are facing environmental challenges, all because rich people, and I hate to make this about rich people again, I know this is not the time, but a lot of the things that we're seeing and will continue to see will be, in my mind, devastating, because some of it could have been prevented had we had individuals, people willing to take a stand against billionaires who just want to become richer. I will never understand the billionaire mindset of enough is never enough. So much so to the point that they're willing to exploit the planet that they too call home, the planet that their children call home, all in service of a buck. To have individuals come up on a stage, fossil fuel owners, individuals who are heavily invested in burning and digging in oil, to have them come out on the stage and say this is a hoax. This is a hoax that is conspiratized or made up by the left to plague on fears, when we can tell that winters in certain areas are getting shorter, summers are getting hotter and more intense, fires are burning longer, water levels are increasing. I don't understand how anybody with a brain can look around and say that this is all made up. So again, I say to the people that are affected by this typhoon, and again, it might have nothing to do with climate change, but I really do hope that they find the strength in each other and are able to build up a new community, a safer community that doesn't necessarily have to confront the challenges that so many communities will continue to face. They are Kipnuk and Kwigillingok, and again, you're looking at something like 1,500 people that have been displaced from this storm, houses permanently removed. I felt like it was necessary for us to do a video on this because I don't want to keep scrolling past natural disasters that are occurring and acting like they don't matter, because they do. I was your host, JLW. Let me know what your thoughts are on this community, and I will holler at you all in the next one.